Guys, welcome back and I hope you guys are doing great. So today's video is actually something that I'm surprised I haven't done previously. This is a foundation review. So I'm going to be reviewing the Maybelline SuperStay foundation, the full coverage foundation. I have had this foundation for over a year and a half now, and I think I'm pretty qualified to review this one at this point. So yeah, today's video is gonna be the Maybelline SuperStay full coverage foundations review. This is what it looks like. So this is available practically everywhere. I know this is available on Nykaa, this is available on Amazon, this is available on those mainstream websites and also in stores. I got mine in stores. I did not get it from a website and I got it matched, and that's why I got it offline. This retails for 750 rupees for 30 ml of product. 30 ml is pretty standard, and 750 rupees, I feel like the price point lays a little bit more than the affordable. Like, I feel like 500 is considered affordable, but a little over it lays more onto the medium affordable range. But this still does retail quite often on discount. I've seen this on discount on Nykaa, Amazon again, and the lowest I've seen this retail for is 500 rupees. So when I got this, I think I got it for 25% discount, so I got it for 600 rupees, I think. Yeah, so for the packaging, this actually comes with a pump, and if you guys have seen my review for the Wet n Wild one or the Lakme one, you guys know how much I appreciate a non-spatula packaging. The pump is also pretty good. It hasn't ever clogged on me. The glass bottle is also pretty good. It actually does not break. I'm not saying that I've tried it, but yes, I have tried it and it did not break. My heart shattered, but the glass did not, so that is great. Coming on to the shade range, this is one problem that I have. So I saw a review for this, and after that I decided to get this because I wanted a high coverage foundation. And when I went ahead and got my shade match, that whole thing was great, but I came home and I saw the shade range and it was only 9 shades, and even to this date, so it's been over a year since I've had this, and ever since that I've only seen them be available in 9 shades, which is kind of weird for a brand that likes to brag about shade ranges. They constantly push their Fit Me range about how many shades they have. I know for a fact that a lot of brands have seen Maybelline, push this whole foundation shade, big shade range thing, and saw that customers really do appreciate this a lot, and then followed up. We see a lot more Indian brands bring out more wide varied shade ranges nowadays, but this one, I don't know why they have not brought other shades. It's not like it's not available in other shades. I am pretty sure the Fit Me sells a lot more than this does, price being one factor and the fact that that is advertised so much. So I really do hope that they bring out the other shades, because between Fit Me and this, despite not having Fit Me, I know I'll definitely prefer this one. Fit Me, just, I don't think there is any one big pro about that foundation that I wanna, go ahead and pick that one up. But I know for a fact that Fit Me is used very often as a shade reference, so that is why I thought of doing this video, since a lot of people ask me about my foundation shades. So this video will kind of be helpful. I will explain the shade range thing in a minute, but yeah, 9 shades, I don't really appreciate that. Maybelline, please do better. This is definitely better than your other foundation, so please try to bring this guy in a lot more shades in India. That would be great. And also this one, the golden 312, that is my shade. That is this particular one. This lies into the medium category, and the medium deep category, which is the last category in the shade range, only has 2. So after this there are only 2 deeper shades. I think 334 is the darkest one they have in India. So yeah, it's kind of weird. If you're bringing only 9, maybe bring 3 for light, 3 for medium and 3 for dark. That would be amazing. So yes, I hope that they expand on the shade range soon. So the type of formula, this is a very high coverage foundation. Is it something that covers A to Z? No. In the demo section you will see that it did not cover A to Z, like all of my acne. Even now you probably can see that I still have some marks over, but it still does a fairly good job at covering up any scars or any pigmentation that you have. So yes, this is pretty high coverage in my opinion. The finish that this foundation has is very matte. When I say matte, it means matte. And one of the reasons I was kind of iffy about before purchasing this one is because this is so matte, and even now this dries down so quickly. You have enough time to blend it out on your face, but if you're not using any sort of hydrating base underneath, this will dry down so quickly. Sometimes it happens that I am in a hurry and I don't put a lot, like I put a light moisturizer around my eyes and then go and apply this. It does not work that well. It will cling and kind of patch up a little bit around my eye area, especially the inner eye area. So yes, if you are gonna pick this one up, if you are from the dry skin family, hydrate a lot, moisturize a lot before you apply this. Use a very well hydrating, glowing kind kind of primer. So I'm also assuming that this is gonna be good for oilier skin people. If you have oily skin, I think you should try this one. It will probably work really well for your skin. If you are a person who has dehydrated skin that kind of flakes up and stuff, then I don't think you should go for this. Try something else. If I know my skin is not in the best hydrating conditions, then I do tend to skip this foundation and choose something else. Coming on to the staying power, so this does have 24 full coverage foundation written over it. I'm not sure if that is 24 hours. If it is, I have not tested for it. I have tested this for around 12 hours. Yes, pretty sure I have tested this for 12 hours. I wore this to a wedding and it wore beautifully. I loved how this wore on my skin, and that happened in March, so it was still pretty hot. If you're gonna be sweating throughout the day, just know that it will kind of mess up, it will kind of break down. Will it be in a really bad condition? No, I don't think so, but it will still not look as good as it did when you first applied it, so be careful about that. If you're an office going person, or if you're just working and you are gonna be in air conditioning atmosphere for the most part, this will look perfectly fine on you. Does it transfer? When I use my phone, it will transfer a little bit, but it is not nearly as much as other foundations do. This is also waterproof. You would really need a oil-based cleanser or a micellar water to clean this one, so yeah, do not go ahead and directly clean your skin with a face wash. It's not gonna come off. You will have to break this down with something else before going in with your second cleanse. So yes, also this foundation has certain claims on it, so I'm just gonna read them out. This is the shade 312 golden, by the way. If I haven't mentioned it at all, then yes, this is the 312 shade. It says it is full coverage foundation. I will agree, it is pretty high coverage, pretty good. It is a long lasting wear. I will agree to that too. It is a seamless matte finish. I'm not sure what seamless means, but it did look pretty good. I definitely prefer this with a sponge over a brush. The brush is just, it does not give that great of a finish. For some reason, this is more difficult to apply with brush than any of my other foundations. The fourth claim is that it's breathable and comfortable. I will agree, but at the same time, my skin is not sensitive. I have personally not found any foundations to be clogging, or I've never had issues or reaction to foundations, so my skin probably just can't take a lot. If your skin is super sensitive, then this, if the claim is true, you might want to try this out. The fifth one is fade and transfer resistant. Transfer, I will agree, it does not transfer a lot. Fade resistant, to be honest, if you have worn it throughout the day, it's not gonna stay perfect throughout the day. It will break down to an extent, so I don't think this is fade resistant, but it still fairly wears well. So yeah, it is also oil free, it does not clog pores, and it's dermatologist tested. I would hope so. Yeah, so yeah, those were the claims by this foundation, and I think I agree with most of them. I'm gonna insert the demo section right now. If you want to know the shade, how it looks on my skin, how it compares, how it oxidizes. Oh yes, this oxidizes a lot. I forgot to mention this, but this definitely oxidizes a shade darker. So if you are a person who is Maybelline's shade 322, then definitely if you're picking this foundation one, go a shade lighter. It will oxidize a lot. In the demo section, I've inserted all of that. So yeah, let's play the demo right now, and then we'll move to the pros and cons. Okay, so that is exactly how my skin looks without any makeup. So it will be good to see how the foundation performs in terms of coverage. So I'm taking my sponge and applying it to the right side of my face. I did not use any sort of concealer or anything for this video. I only applied the foundation, and that is it. And as you guys can see, it did cover everything pretty damn nicely. It did match my neck pretty well, and it will oxidize as well. So yeah, and for the other half of my face, I went in with my brush, and to be honest, I applied a lot of product. I did not need that much product. I just tried to compare it with the amount that I used for my face. But yeah, and here is the before and after of how my skin looks without and with foundation. I'm sorry that the angle is kind of different, but yeah. And for the oxidizing part, this is a swatch that I applied a while ago, and after that I'm applying a fresh swatch, and as you guys can see, it is significantly different. And the one that I applied previously hadn't even dried down to its fullest, so yes, it will oxidize even more. And just to compare it with my other foundations, I used my Wet n Wild Toffee Pecan foundation next to it, and the one that is at the extreme end is the Lakme W320 Warm Caramel shade. I also applied a concealer in between. This is the Wet n Wild concealer in the color medium tawny. So yeah, I hope these shade references help you somehow, and maybe you can figure out a shade for yourself. And let's move on to the pros and cons now. Okay, so for the pros and cons, let's start with the pros. Pro number one, it is easily available online stores, offline stores, especially right now online stores. It is available on Nykaa, Amazon, and a bunch of different websites. The cost for the type of foundation, I feel like it is pretty good. Again, On discount, you can probably get this at around 500. Keep an eye out. Don't just look at on Nykaa, look at other websites too. I'm pretty sure you'll find this on discount at some point, especially now that sales are going to be starting off. Keep an eye out for this if you want it, and I'm sure you'll get it for a discounted price. It also has great packaging, no spatula, a pump, and a very good glass that if you drop does not break. So if you're clumsy, this is going to be amazing for you. It also has a great staying power. I personally found that the staying power is really good. I've worn this for weddings, as I mentioned, not once, not twice, but multiple times, and I feel like if I am going for a wedding, I definitely tend to prefer this one because I know it wears really well. So yes, good staying power. And the fifth one, it's also waterproof, and you really need to get this off with an oil cleanser or a micellar water. If you want to get this off, it's not gonna go away with just your cleanser. Let's move on to the cons. Con number one, such a bad shade range for a brand that likes to brag about shade range. When you are in a position where you can brag about shade range, you can only get that position when you also have good shade range in all of your products, not just one. So please expand on your shade range. Con number two would be if you are extremely dry. I consider myself extremely dry and I can use it, but if you are very dry, then you might have a difficulty in blending this out. So I will suggest moisturizing heavily. I consider this a con for dry skin but a pro for oily skin. Oily skin people will probably get a really good use out of this foundation. Con number three would be it will cling on to the dry patches. So this is not just a issue with dry skin, but if you have dry patches in general, it will kind of cling in and it won't really look the best. So you might want to take care of that before picking this one up or before applying this every time you use it. So yes, those are the cons, and definitely think that the pro side is heavier than the con side, and definitely do recommend this foundation. Once again, my Maybelline shade, if I was not using the SuperStay, it will be a shade darker. It would be 322 in the Fit Me one. Would I recommend this foundation? I absolutely would. And yeah, I think that is it. This was it for the Maybelline SuperStay foundation. I hope you guys found this helpful. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, comment and subscribe. If you have video requests, leave it in the comment section down below. Once again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.